All right, well, that's inspirational. I feel inspired.
Absolutely.
Amen.
I am inspired.
You look inspired.
That's right.
Especially when you have to clean your plate anymore. We can just stick it in the dishwasher.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's where that came from, Dr. Clothier, like in the early 1800s. Clean that plate because I don't have any dish soap.
That's probably it. Yeah.
Probably. Well, let's rage the war, shall we? So, Dr. Clothier, I'm going to say, because I like to eat some foods that have cholesterol in them, that by golly, it's not the food, it's the genetics.
Yeah, I'm going to agree.
All right.
I think it's interesting if you look at the history of low-fat diets and the attempt there in America. About 15, 20 years ago, it became a big deal to have a low-fat diet recommended. And we replaced all that fat in food, basically with sugar, and with processed foods. High fructose corn syrup probably being the most famous and the most notorious, the most infamous, because that has led to a lot of health problems for people because of increased weight. And if we look around society, people's weight has only gone up since we've talked about low cholesterol foods and low fat foods. What I tend to observe in my practice is if people get really scared by cholesterol for whatever reason, they've had chest pain or their brothers had a heart attack or who knows what, I'd see some go from a junk food diet to essentially a vegetarian diet, and their cholesterol just really basically doesn't change much. They might go from 245 to 240, and it needs to be under 200. You need a good ratio of the good type. And I think a large part of that is far more related to genetics and to lifestyle. If you lose weight, like you have, Judge, I think you'll see much better numbers. Hopefully we can find that out soon. But it's a process of a healthier life and of a more modest intake. So in other words, if you eat a cholesterol-containing food, which would be an animal product, all animal products contain cholesterol, I don't think that makes as big a difference as it does to simply cut back on food in general, portions in general, and to eat modestly.
And that just sounds like good health overall anyway.
Absolutely. Self-control, modest intake, not overdoing it is really the key. And when something is clearly junk, you know, we label things junk food for a reason. That's because they are self-defined as junk food. And I think, you know, we all know the difference in eating something that is healthy and naturally occurring and something that's processed and in a bag because, you know, it's been run through the factory a couple of different times. And, you know, I'm all for recycling, but we don't need to recycle certain foods that way. Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. As long as you eat in moderation and it's prepared right. You know, it's all about moderation. In fact, there's an interesting study that I wouldn't say pertains to any person I know other than the general principle, but it was done in rats that are genetically identical. There certainly aren't any rats in studio with me.
Well, no,
No, not here.
But genetically identical rats were fed a diet, and they actually studied sugar-containing diet, a high-fat diet, a meat-containing type diet. But if they were fed identical number of calories a day, one group ate one meal a day, and the other group was divided out into 6 portions through the day, and the 6 portions through the day ended up being healthy and thin, and the 1 meal a day group ended up being obese and diabetic. And but it was an identical number of calories, so it's really not so much what you eat when. You know, we have in our minds the idea of a breakfast or a lunch or a dinner, but if we divide out our calories through the day in a modest way so that you never overindulge or overeat, it really doesn't matter if you eat that high protein or a meat containing, you know, morning meal. A breakfast doesn't have to be, you know, what we perceive as a picture of it. It just needs to be in moderation.
So the moderation, and if you don't necessarily have to eat a bigger breakfast and then kind of scale it down the rest of the day.
Right, that's correct. I think you just need something to tell your body that you're not starving, so it doesn't want to store everything. And that seems to be the key. You know, a lot of people get busy through the day and really save up all their eating till late at night. What that tells the body is basically to store everything it can, and then you're loading with calories when you're at your metabolically slowest time of the day, at night. And that's why a lot of people advocate cutting off eating in the evening, like at 7 or so. You're not going to starve by morning if you're most people I know. And, that way you don't overload at night when you're bored or metabolically slowing down.
There are some countries that actually, though, eat later at night, don't they? I mean, at least that's the perception that I've had. Like Spain, maybe, they work during the day and then their larger meals at
Yeah, and
evening.
it's interesting that there's not as much obesity there as there is in America, and a lot of that, this may be a topic for a different time, a lot of that is the combination of foods they eat at the, in terms of eating certain things together. For instance, if you eat a high-fat meal and low-carb with it, that's probably a better balance than having a lot of carbs and a lot of fats at one time. And that combination may be a valuable thing. I want to tell you real quick 2 things going into Thanksgiving. One, that I had an experience with a patient this past week that's a very typical one for me. And that is that he came in having had a bypass surgery a few months ago because he had been at the gym exercising, and he's a very fit guy. Very healthy, excellent blood pressure, non-smoker, and he was at the gym working out and had chest pain. Appropriately went to a cardiologist right away and was found to have a critical stenosis of a blood vessel and had to have a bypass surgery. He pointed out, before I even could think about it, that I had been recommending cholesterol medicine for some time for him, and he just didn't want to take it. I noticed when I first, when he was being checked in, that he was on a cholesterol medicine, and that was before I even knew he had had the bypass surgery. I'm amazed how many people commit to a cholesterol medicine after they have a heart event rather than proactively. If your doctor advises it, let me just ask you to pay attention to your doctor's advice and discuss that with them. The other thing, I know we're a little short on time, I just want to recommend that you look at the real heart disease that I see around Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that is, it's hard on families sometimes and people getting together with relatives. If you've been bitter towards someone, that's a disease of the heart. And I'd encourage you, forgive somebody this Thanksgiving or Christmas. Get along as a family, get along as friends, and just reduce that bitterness in your life.
Well, and that does have an impact on the heart, because stress, they say, is the #1 leading cause for, like, heart attack and stroke or
Absolutely,
something.
I think it
Is that right?
absolutely is a contributor.
Yeah, so all right, well, Dr. Norm Clothier, you have a magnificent Thanksgiving. Dr. B and
Thank
I
you
will be
very much.
right here in studio talking about things to be thankful for.
And I'm glad you're working hard this week.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you very much. Oh, well, have a bite and enjoy it. That's all you can afford.
Well, folks, stay tuned. We're going to come back with, we're going to have Coach Scott Smith from Plano West on. We're going to do bracketology with high school football playoffs and Mustang Callie's report. So listen in for our predictions as we go around the room and we get excited about high school football.
I'm going to pick my route to the office based on what you say here in a minute. So
Okay.
I want accuracy.
Norm, happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Your
it.
family?
Look forward to seeing you there. Yeah, you guys take care.
Hey, if you're
Safe
up that
college,
early,
Mom?
you want to call in and share with one of your memorable moments. That's what we're doing on Thanksgiving Day.
Very good.
We're sharing memorable moments.
Yeah, that's great. So you really are going to be on
Yeah.
Thursday?
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Now Friday we're
That's
not.
great.
Friday we're going to air the
Yeah.
diet show I did about what I'm
Oh,
doing
yeah.
and losing
Great
weight on
idea.
Friday.
Well, that's perfect time.
Isn't that
So,
perfect? I
yeah,
thought it
very
was
good.
too.
Well, enjoy.
Take care, Norm. Thank you.
Do you want us to move down one?
Yeah, if we can move down one.
I want to change earphones. These cutting in and out the whole time. Crazy. Which is not a far trip.
Well, we've got it better over there.
Pardon?
We're better over there.
Okay, Josh, you can sit here.
All right, well, I finally have some time to say hello. Good morning out there in YouTube world. Welcome to JP and Dr. B. Thank you for waking up with us. You know, today we're talking about high school football now. We just got done talking about men's health with men's cholesterol and heart and what to kind of watch out for during the holiday seasons. In studio with us, of course, we've got Dr. B. We got Mustang Callie. She's getting ready to do traffic for the first time, so that's kind of exciting. And then we've got Josh Allen, who is our guest co-host, and we're excited about having Josh in. Josh kicked off our conversation with, hold on, but Action Jackson is behind the glass. I mean, he's like a hamster in a cage, for God's sakes. I mean, what does he want from me? You can't even see him. See, he's got his hands and his nose pressed up against the glass. You can't even see him. But Action Jackson behind the glass on the board. And Josh is exciting because he kicked off our day for us by asking the first question, and it really kicked off well. It was about, is there things that are heart healthy we can eat during the holidays that can help with men's health? And so, excited about that. Here in this next hour, we're going to do our bracketology with Coach Scott Smith, so go Blue Nation. And then we're going to get into what Brian and I are doing. We're going to ready to start videoing my exercise and workout regimen and putting it online along with the food that I'm eating. So, stay with us, have a good time, and we will have this posted within about 30 minutes after the show is over. All right, here we go.
They're going to show, he's going to play Callie's
Mustang music? Oh, good.
before.
He's on the line.
Yeah. All right, would you let Coach Smith know in just a few minutes, and then we're going to cut right in? All right. So, you got SIG alert up?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Remember, don't forget to include what's open and going well as well, okay?
Right.
All right, I'm
And I
excited.
need to
Should
read
I?
this ad too.
Yeah.
When do you want me to do
Well,
that?
why don't we read the ad right after, and then I'll come in after you read the ad, and I'll say, now to traffic with Callie. Oh, no, we're coming back with the music, right?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
so
So
music,
go with her.
Callie, and then commercial. You might want to say, that was
So am
brought
I
to you
doing
by,
traffic?
yeah,
I'm doing so straight into traffic, then sports?
no, you're doing traffic,
Traffic?
his commercial. I'll do a lead into Coach Smith, sports.
Okay.
Hey, relax over there, Mustang.
I'm nervous. I've never done this before.
Action Jackson, we need this annex over here.
I do. No, it might put me to sleep.
No, play the jingle right after, that should be our lead-in music.
Can I say brought to you by SigAlert.com or no?
You can say that you got the information from SigAlert.com.
Okay.
And you don't even have to say that.
Okay.
Can we say the traffic report was brought by?
Can we say the traffic report was brought by or no? No, I didn't think we
I
could.
didn't think so either, so.
You could say, you know, you should just read the commercial.
All right, we're looking at traffic here. I've been looking at this accident for about an hour now. At 635 LBJ Freeway going west. At 635 LBJ Freeway west at Royal Miller backed up to 30. It's been about an hour, but it's only gotten worse. The traffic's moving at about 8 miles an hour south of Garland Avenue. Also, in Farmers Branch, there's road construction. Right lane closed. 35 east south at Valley View Lane backed up to Sandy Lake Road. That was about an hour ago also, but there's still pretty good traffic moving about 15 miles an hour at Beltline Road. Oh, I'm pretty sure traffic on Thanksgiving is going to be. I am going to be home. It's going to be nice.
So you're welcome, Action Jackson. So how's the George Bush and the Dallas North Tollway look? Are we looking good out there, Callie, on those
Actually,
roads?
that's actually looking pretty good.
All right. So sounds like that's, you know, traffic to be watched out for is I-635 Royal Miller, and then also over in Farmers Branch. If you're out there, you're only going to be going at about a snail's pace as well. So you might want to look for an alternative route to avoid that type of backed up traffic. All right. Thank you, Mustang Callie, for that. Dr. B, we need to talk to our sponsors for a second.
Yeah, I just want to share this with you. Compassion is the starting point for meaningful systemic change. Psychodrama naturally fosters compassion by literally putting the family into each other's shoes. Looking for a way to make a real-life change for yourself, your family, or your clients? Plan on attending the second annual Psychodrama and Sociometry Conference at Collin College, Prestonwood campus on December 3rd and 4th. This year's conference is designed for those who are new to psychodrama, who have extensive experience, or somewhere in between. Join Bridging Hearts Psychodrama, the Training Institute, and ETI for workshops on families or couples, food empowerment, personal growth, Psychodrama 101, sociometry, and spirituality. There are workshop offerings to meet all attendees' needs. Visit www.bridginghearts.com for details.
All right. Sounds good, Dr. B. Thank you for that, and thank you to our sponsor out there. Well, folks, we should have Coach